So, all right, man. Yo, it's good to have you, man. Um, before we even get started, I was kind of like, damn, man, I don't have no outline, and then when I started like just putting some
Uh-huh.
ideas down, I started getting more comfortable because I was like, wait
It's
up.
me. It's me.
I'm talking to
You
my
know,
bro. I
that's
get to I
right.
get to
That's
talk to
right.
my bro. So
That's
we
right.
we definitely we're gonna
Yeah.
do what we gotta
Well, and
do.
bro, listen, I knew it was time for me to come back. I've been looking at
Yes.
all of your recent episodes. You've obviously been having a lot of trouble getting some guests as of late, so I'm always here. You know what I mean? So I'm always here. I'm here when you need that void. And you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I feel like I'm gonna bring some things to you. You're gonna bring some things to me this episode,
Yes. Yes.
and vice
Yes.
versa. So I'm ready. I'm ready. And all we need, you're absolutely right. All we need's an outline. I
Yeah.
just had
Yeah.
this thought with my show the other day. I got 5 bullet points every week now, fam.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have no
Yeah.
more time to plan it, no more time to write it out, and it's 5 bullet points, and I'm off the cuff for at least an hour a week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're at the point now where as long as we're not bringing up shit that, like, neither of us know about or whatever the
Yes.
situation is, but as far as most stuff, you and I are on the same page anyway. So
Yeah, well, and it's crazy because some of this stuff moves so fast and changes so much. Like, if especially when we're talking about things that are current, and so I try not to be. It's hard to be first. Like
yeah,
it's easy to be first
right,
sometimes, but
yeah.
like you can be wrong, and I don't want to be wrong like too much. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, and I have that thought sometimes too. And I think, at least for me and my show, I've kind of created this
okay,
kind of situation where if I am wrong, yeah, I was just joking.
I was
And
just
it was a little
joking.
sarcasm,
Yep,
and like
yep.
that was just a bit. But, sometimes we haven't. I don't think there's been too many times that, especially you and or I, have been terribly wrong about things.
Nah,
I
nah,
mean,
not
yeah.
terribly wrong. Nah, nah.
I think at the most we're just at about that same level as everyone else, in the sense that we report on what's out there now,
Yep,
and if the story develops
we'll come back to
by
it.
the next week, and if it develops in a significant way, we come back to
Yeah.
it, we rebuttal, or if it's something that just happened and then it kind of dies out anyways,
Yep.
forget it,
What?
because
Yeah, I think I'm more skeptical of the things that I'm skeptical about. Like if I kind of don't believe it, like
yeah,
that's when I'll be like, oh, I don't know if I want to talk about that
yeah,
yet. Like,
yeah,
because
yeah,
there's a lot of bullshit out there, man. But
yeah,
all right, man, let's get started though. Let's get
yeah.
started. And I was thinking, I had this one other segment that I was thinking about bringing up, but I might skip it here.
Either way.
All right, let's get started. Hey, yo, what it is and what's good, y'all? Welcome back to 280 Plus, the social media podcast where I take the conversations off the timeline and go beyond the tweets, the posts, whatever you want to call it. I'm your host, Slow Steph, and I'm back here for episode 183.
Boom.
And I got a guess, y'all. I got a guess.
I'm
Yeah, I
back.
mean, I got
I'm
my
back.
brother. I got my boy, Levi McCurdy, I mean, aka Levi Sparks, Sparks Entertainment, Pixel and Hammer, well accomplished, guy. We got the recap and the other half of the recap and record podcast, and this is not recap and record, you know what I mean, but we are gearing up
Yep.
for the summer of
Yep.
2025
Yep.
because our favorite show is coming back. And we're gonna give you a little taste this week of some recap and record because we're gonna talk about one of our favorite shows and maybe some other things that have been popping off. Um, but yeah, if you're new to the channel, I'd like you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you want to join the conversation, leave a comment below. And if you know anybody that's interested in anything that we're talking about, hit that share button, man. But always hit that bell for notifications, man,
That's
so you
right.
can stay updated with what we got going on. So, Levi, man, let's just we're gonna do a soft catch up, right?
Yep.
So like how have you been, man? Like when's the last time you've been on the show, man? When's that?
Busy. I mean, has it been a year? We're usually good. Was it? I
Yes.
was thinking about this the other day. I think our last kind of solo pod show together, aside from recap and record, was maybe our last year's Super Bowl recap,
Yeah.
if my memory's correct.
Oh, yes.
And I
And
was
we were
gonna
gassing up Usher. We were so hyped about
Yeah,
Usher
yeah.
and
And I was gonna hit you this year,
Yeah,
but I think the narrative was the same. Clearly, you and I just didn't understand the deeper message of the Super Bowl
man.
halftime show. We are just too far gone to fully understand what Kendrick was actually saying. So fuck it. But so it's just, man, and I mean your intro, man. What a resume. What a boy. Sometimes I forget everything that I do and sign myself up for. But I appreciate the love, man. But we've been busy.
Yeah.
I'm in the process now of I've got a few things going, and I
Okay.
think I
Okay.
might be meeting someone tomorrow, potentially physical, public accessible podcast studio coming soon
Hey,
in the near future.
you've
So
been
that,
talking about that. You've been talking that up, whatever. But I don't really try to dive too
yeah,
much into it. But like,
yeah,
I've been
yes.
hearing you talk about that.
My plan and just overall realization was obviously it's very expensive to own your own space, obviously, as everyone kind of knows, or you kind of have to have that loan up front.
Yeah.
And I don't like owing people money if I don't have to. So
True. True. True.
my route of attack for this has been kind of, let's find someone I can partner with. And so I've got a couple clients, got a couple people here. There's a co-working space here in Mechanicsburg, just 2 minutes down the road that,
Hey.
you can just go work, laptop, entrepreneurs, what have you. And I'm like, yo, hey, you got an extra room. Let's build it out. Here's the
Yeah.
business plan. Here's the list of equipment we need. And let's see if we can't make something happen. So probably going to be meeting with him tomorrow.
Okay.
And just, you know what I mean? As always, keeping up with the news, the latest and greatest, and just pushing along with what are we doing, man? It's last week I interviewed Joe Exotic, fam, the Tiger
You
King.
actually wait,
Netflix.
time out. You because sometimes here's the thing, you troll a lot. So like sometimes you'll be like, I got Robert Downey Jr. on the show, and you'll be like,
Right.
Levi, stop playing.
Nah,
No, Joe Exotic for real, from the Tiger King.
100%, 100% on the phone, federal prison, Fort Worth, Texas,
Oh,
Netflix.
jail call. Oh, snap. Do he got
Um,
bars? Like, you know what I'm saying? Is he rapping on the phone?
Listen,
No.
bro, he's releasing music. He's got it. He's got
Is
his
he?
own. He's got his own ghost artist, fam. You think these rappers are out here with ghost
Yes, yes,
writers?
yes.
Joe Exotic has a ghost artist. So Joe
Oh,
Exotic will be in his jail cell writing these songs.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Coming up, he just released one for his new husband George on Valentine's Day, and then he just
Hey.
has some guy in Texas play the guitar and sing. And it doesn't sound like him at all, but it is a Joe Exotic song. And so I posted it one day. He released this song a few months ago, trying to get the attention of Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn
Okay.
in order to get the attention of President Donald Trump. Because the only way that Joe Exotic's getting out of jail for his alleged murder for hire case against Carol Baskin is if Donald Trump signs a pardon and releases him. And so I had this whole bit on the pod, and then next thing you know, I get a Twitter notification, and it's a clip of my podcast on the Joe Exotic Twitter account with
Hey.
graphics and a caption that he created. And
Oh,
I
snap.
didn't do it. It wasn't my clip. And I'm like, yo, we just became best friends. Joe Exotic listens to the pod. So I DM him. I'm like, what's up? How can we
Yeah.
get you on? And he's like, bet I got to do it in 15-minute increments. We got to wait 30 minutes between calls because the phone has to
Yo.
reset. You know what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
so it was legit, fam. And so for about 30 minutes, we talked about the Tigers, his life, prison, what he wants to do to get out, Donald Trump, pardon him. And he also just so happened to, we discovered that he is an ordained minister.
Oh.
And if we get him pardoned before July, he's going to officiate the wedding.
No,
So,
wait, no. Stop
Joe,
playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Your
it's
wedding
all
in
it's all
July.
in the episode. I said, Joe, if I can get you out of jail before July 21st, can I then fly you to Mexico? Because that's where his husband just got deported out of the same prison back to
Okay.
Mexico under Trump's new, whole
Yeah,
deal with
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
We'll
whole
get
thing.
into some of that maybe. I
Yep.
don't know.
And so he's back in Mexico. So that's the first place Joe's going anyways. So I
So
said,
he can
let's
go, he
see.
can leave the country, like even when he gets
If
out?
he's pardoned, everything's
Oh,
forgiven. He's
if
a
he's pardoned.
citizen and
Okay, okay.
he can do whatever he wants.
Okay. But yeah, but if he gets out, like which all right, if he's not pardoned, what is he
Uh,
looking at? What kind of time is he looking at?
he's got 20 years on
Sheesh.
his sentence, and I think he's got two different cancer diagnoses and a rare
Ah,
blood disease. So there's
oh man.
probably a small percentage that he won't actually get to
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
that's why we're parading Donald Trump. He let
Man,
out
so
the
he might
jet.
not even look the same, bro. He might be a shell of himself, right?
He's I last time we saw him, I think he looked okay.
Okay,
So I
okay.
mean it's not a terrible I think it's prostate cancer and one other thing, and he's got a rare blood disease. So
Okay.
I think it's not I don't know if it's necessarily a shave your head situation. We didn't get too deep into it, but all I know is I asked him, I said, "Can I fly you to Mexico if you're free? Will you officiate the wedding?" And he said, and I quote, "Levi, I would love to."
That's gangster. That's love right there. I like that.
So
I like that
we're
for you, man.
basically best friends.
Yes.
I have multiple I'm having him on the podcast at least two more times this year. It is
Let's go.
I just had so much fun talking to him, and it just that parasocial 2020, we're locked down, we're
Yeah,
all
yeah.
drunk off of Chili's to go, Long Island iced teas because the Pennsylvania wine liquor stores were shut down. And it's like we're watching the Tiger King on Netflix, and he's shooting his guns off, blowing shit up, and threatening to kill Carol Baskin. And
Yeah.
it's like, who would 3 years later, I'm on the phone with the man.
That's
And
crazy.
so it's
That's
been
crazy.
my life. You never know where it's going. You never know what I'm gonna be doing, or
Yeah.
what reality TV show from the Discovery Channel, Netflix I'm talking to next.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. It's
That's
been
freaking
great.
dope, man. That's
It's
freaking
been
dope.
great.
And well, and then you did mention the wedding, you know what I'm saying? We're definitely gearing up for that. That's happening in Mexico. The rooms are booked, you know what I'm saying? I
Boom.
think about the flight is about to get booked, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm just pretty excited. I do with like it's unfortunate because I've talked about it briefly in the podcast and people probably like don't know who I'm talking about, but so I have two weddings to go to in the
Yep.
same week. In the same
Yeah.
week, like Levi gets married on a Monday, and then my other homie gets married that Friday. So like I can't stay as long as some of the other people, and I wish I could because them prices, bro. We ain't gonna say that online, but them prices was crazy low. I was like, oh, this is low. I'm like, who? Yeah, when I was telling some people about this, they like, wait
Yep.
a who does he know? And I said, I
Yep.
don't know, but he's
I
the
can.
man, and
Hey,
he's my
I'm gonna
man.
tell
See what I'm
you,
saying?
and
So,
yep. No, I'm gonna tell you this right now. We know a guy, and they have been a part of this resort for 15 plus 20 years, and
oh,
through those years, this is like consider it like the ultimate timeshare, but
okay,
in the
okay.
sense that you can give as long as we're booking under that membership number, we get everything they get. And through that 20
Hey,
plus years that they've had this kind of membership at this resort,
yeah,
they've put in upwards of like 100, that like six figures have
yeah,
gone from their pockets to the resort.
yeah.
And especially too, because they've been at it so long, no one today can get what they got because
Oh, it's
they're
grandfathered in.
grandfathered in with,
Wow,
we get 4 free excursions with the room we got, we get this
wow.
and that's not even offered anymore.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so though those membership prices are just
Are you
it's
gonna keep going back? Like now that you're
well, it's
plugged in,
our
is this
yeah,
like
we've been there once. So it
okay?
When Megs lived in Mexico in 2020, that's
Hey,
where she was.
okay,
Or
okay,
beyond way beyond that, like 2018, 2019. So
okay, okay.
that's where she was essentially because the guy we know not only was a member at the resort, but he was also kind of working for them part-time. So it was a whole situation. So we've been there once before. This will be the second time I'm there. First time staying in the presidential suite.
Yeah.
But I
Oh,
mean, and since we've been there, they've expanded. It's like double the size.
oh
It's
wow.
there's so much to do, and we couldn't be more excited. But the prices are just unbelievable, and we'll probably make it maybe not a yearly thing, maybe a bi-yearly thing,
Okay,
and like
okay.
have you guys come back and
Yeah.
kind of make it a thing because yeah, we trust me, we know.
Hey,
Looking at every other resort from
yeah.
Mexico to the Dominican Republic, it's what, half the cost?
Yeah, it's definitely yeah, it's worth it, man. And I'm like, wow, like and it's like, oh, yeah, that's, yeah. It was good. The price
Yeah,
is good. I don't want to get too much into
I'm
that, but
excited.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
it's gonna
excited, man.
be.
And that's what I'm saying. Yours is I'm kind of getting yours out of the way because I gotta get leave the country. So I've been preparing. I've been preparing, and then but yeah, man, it's gonna be a good weekend.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I can't wait for the wedding, man. Can't wait for your big day. It is your big day. I know a lot of times, we focus on the bride and everything like that, but it's your big day too, bro. So,
Yeah,
so
no, and
I
I
you
yeah,
know,
and it's for we are very much in the sense that it's for us and
yep.
that we are at the end of the day, no matter who comes or who doesn't, like I mean, there's probably like half to maybe like 100% of her family probably won't be there
Okay, okay.
because of finances and certain
Yeah.
situations and other things. So like we're already on this on like the train that like those who are coming are like our ride or dies
Okay.
100%. Like and we understand and we're just there to have fun and just kind of we're gonna celebrate our love for a little bit. But yeah, no, I appreciate it. And you and me, we'll get probably you, me, and John Dunkel, we'll go off and have
Hey,
our own little kind of soiree, probably, Sunday night or something like that. But it'll
that's what's
be
up.
I'm excited. It's gonna be a killer time.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, all right, man. So let's get
Yeah.
started, man, into the show, man. Let's and we're gonna start off with reacting to the world. Okay. So,
It's on
I
fire, literally, physically, metaphorically. South Carolina, there's 1,400 acres burning right now as
oh
we
wow, there's
speak.
fires in Odyssey.
Fires are on the
See,
East Coast, on the West Coast, in the White
damn.
House. It's all over.
It's all over, man. It's all over. So we're gonna start obviously with the biggest change so far in 2025, and it is the 47th president, right?
Yep.
The new term of Donald Trump, right? So
Yep.
we're gonna this is kind of a blanket question,
Yeah.
but I guess I want to know, man, like according to you, man, is like how is Trump doing? How is Trump doing so far? Is he kind of doing what he said he was gonna do? Is he making people happy? What do you how would you kind of gauge how we've been in the first maybe like month and a
Yeah.
half so
Yeah.
far?
I was thinking about this earlier today and I kind of said it on my pod a few weeks ago, but it's what's funny to me and interesting about this administration is that it seems like every other thing they do is serious and
Yes.
every other thing after that is like, hey guys, what's happening here? Like, great. We're signing an executive order to do this and better the lives of the American people, and it's what we promised. And like most of us are on board for not giving any more money to the Ukraine and doing
Sure.
whatever, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then in the same breath, here's another executive order. No more paper straws. Let's get rid of the paper straws
Yeah.
because
Who cares about that?
that's like and so it's like great. Now my McDonald's in certain areas of the country is going to be just a little bit better because let's be honest, no one likes the paper straws anyways. They get
Yeah.
soggy,
Yeah.
they don't work.
Yeah. They
And
don't
then
work.
hey, by the way, all those DEI initiatives and everything else going on, that's out the window.
Yeah.
Now, did Donald Trump getting rid of DEI essentially kind of also uncover the corporate world and the sense of like, well, now no more pride section at Target or no more DEI initiatives over here at this multi-billion dollar, like, you know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of these organizations have followed suit. So was it at the end of the day a genuine thing or not? Like, what does
Okay.
that? So,
Yeah.
like, what
Yeah.
does that then reveal? Like, okay, so if Donald Trump says let's play ball, well, now all of the brands
Yep.
and companies and organizations and everything else,
Yeah.
now we're playing ball. Let's take a bet over under this year come June because for whatever reason it's the only month and the only time that we need to show recognition for everybody on the planet is
I
the month of
know. Yeah.
June.
It's everybody.
For Pride Month, how many logos are going to be rainbow this year on social media for Pride Month?
Mm.
Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? How
Yeah. Yeah.
many? I don't think, fam, you could tell me because you're plugged in just a little bit more, but how many Black History Month posts have you seen this year? Like, I almost forgot. Like I was reminded by a YouTube video that February is Black History Month, but every year the Target,
Well,
Apple, Amazon, like is it
I've definitely seen there
okay?
definitely was it,
Yeah,
it always goes quick. I mean,
right.
February is, I mean, literally
Shortest
by
month,
number it
yeah.
is the shortest month, but it goes so fast because it's the one month where like every week is like the same, it's in the same
Mm-hmm.
pace, like we don't have
Yeah.
like a fifth week at all in any of these things. So no, I did still see a lot of stuff, but
Okay.
I think yeah, I think when you get older and you're out of school, like, and I'm talking about at a learning
Yeah.
age,
Yeah.
like you are a little bit more removed from that type of stuff. But I
Okay.
knew that when you were just speaking about like the corporations and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
I had a strong feeling that
Yeah.
definitely most of these companies were just jumping on the bandwagon because that's what it seems to be. Like corporations kind of they kiss the ring no matter who it
They have
is.
to. Well,
Don't
and that's
matter who it is.
exactly.
Like they were kissing Biden's ring. They were
Yep.
they kissed Trump's ring the first time. They kissed Obama's so all these companies when these big initiatives come out, they're gonna kind of acquiesce, and then we do kind of maybe see their true colors, or just for the fact that they're just worried about the bottom line, and that's what's gonna drive everything anyway. So, but I think when it comes to when you talk about DEI,
Mhm.
I think one thing is becoming more evident is that like a lot of people just don't know what that shit is. You know what I mean?
Right.
They
Right.
don't know what it is, and they didn't realize how embedded some of that type these protections, so to speak, have been embedded into our society for a long time. And I think some people, especially his constituents, the people that voted for him, I think they're in for a rude awakening, like realizing like, oh, what would you DEI didn't mean black people? Like, oh, you meant, oh, it means veterans too, and it means women, and it means all these
Right.
other things.
Right.
And I just think that we're starting to see. I
Mhm.
I personally think, because like all these things are happening. I do think that Trump is probably, yeah, he is probably making certain people happy, but at the same time, I think it's crazy because I don't want to say average, because everybody's not necessarily everybody that's a Trump supporter. I don't even think they're necessarily Republicans, so to speak. So, but
No.
Trump supporters, I think they're learning on the fly, and I think some of them, especially the ones that are low income, they're
Right.
realizing like, oh shit, he's about to. Oh no! Oh, that's what that means. He's getting rid of this. He's getting rid of that.
Well, and so I mean, I think yeah, you just kind of hit the nail on the head there with not all Trump supporters are Republican. I'm 99% positive, but Joe Rogan was a Democrat, and I'm pretty sure Donald Trump is himself was a Democrat. Like,
Yeah,
and so, but when he got into this realm of the world of politics and running for president, he realized how broken and empty the Democratic Party was, according to him. I'm not, whatever. I don't know
yeah,
anything about it. And then, boom, he came in and took over and changed the Republican Party the way he would have done the Democratic Party, but he realized he could do it over here instead of over there.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so I think another thing too that I've kind of been thinking about a lot is everyone seems to, not everyone, but there seems to obviously be this split for those who love and hate him. And I think it's more along the lines of hating Elon Musk and what he's doing. And I wonder if like we've all known we have to, if you have 2 ounces of common sense, you know that your tax dollars are going to the government that then goes to God knows where.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so now that we have, Doge
We're
and
gonna get
Elon
into Doge.
Musk kind of going through, the financial asshole of the government, does it make sense that we're sending $30 million to the Girl Scouts and $40 million to the Iran library program and whatever else it is that they're finding? Now, do you think that the American citizens would be a lot more open to what Elon Musk is doing if he wasn't Elon Musk? If this was just another politician, some senator from Ohio that Trump brought on his team because he's really good with numbers and auditing and stuff like that. Oh, cool. Now John Smith's out here and he's figuring out where all of our tax dollars are going, and he just
Mhm.
saved us $50 billion.
Yeah.
Because it's the CEO of Tesla and the guy with the rocket ships and billionaire asshole who just had his 15th kid like yesterday, it's Elon Musk. Now we have 30% more reason to kind of hate what he's doing? Like, does that
Yeah.
like is that a? I feel like that might have a factor.
I think
And
it does have a factor, and I do want to get into Doge a little
yeah,
specifically, but I think I think probably perception wise it would make a difference, but like I think that's letting Elon Musk off the hook a little bit too
mhm,
much. You know what I mean, if we're just saying like, oh, if he was just a regular guy, no,
yeah,
I seen a clip where it was basically I think it was from Brilliant Idiots, whatever, and like Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz are arguing, and then Andrew Schultz is basically trying to talk him up, and like he's like, yeah, like it's like if somebody is like looking into stuff, and like if you're trying to hide the stuff, well,
right,
obviously you're suspicious. But like with that analogy, it's the fact that like, well, no, it's not like it's as if like a person impersonating a police officer is knocking on your door asking to see what's in your house, and you're like, motherfucker, who are you? You don't even have a
right,
warrant, whatever. And
right,
then they flash some fake badge and some fake warrant, and you're like, nah, I still don't feel comfortable. Like, no, I'm not gonna let you in. And that's kind of where we're at, because I feel like Elon Musk doesn't have necessarily all these clearances. The people
mhm,
that are working for him doing all this digging and investigating, they're not
right,
qualified to be doing this type of stuff.
right.
And I think it's laughable if we really think that billionaires, because that's the thing. We're talking about all this waste and stuff like that. And like I said, I don't want to get off because we are going to talk about Doge, but if we think that billionaires are here to save the American people money, to put more money in, when we say American people, we're talking about the 99%. We're not talking about
Mhm.
the 1%. We're talking, if you really think that billionaires are in the business of putting money in your pocket,
Right.
that's funny. That's
Yeah.
goofy to
It's
me.
cap.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's crazy to
Yep.
me.
Oh
And
yeah.
but I also I'm not necessarily in the I can't sit here count somebody else's pockets and tell him like, well, just give us money then. Like, no, I'm not arguing that
Right.
either. But it's the way he's kind of going about it, and I just feel like Elon got some weird ulterior motives, man. I mean, but
Well, no, I don't necessarily think they're weird alternative motives. His motives are that he has contracts and deals with the United States federal government for Tesla to receive $300 billion a year
yeah,
and SpaceX to receive $300 billion
yeah,
a year
that's
via
good.
NASA.
Yeah,
There's a reason he's sending rockets up into space every 20 minutes because the United States government and our taxpayer dollars are directly funding the program.
yeah,
Which is why it's like, and that is there an ulterior motive? Because guess what? If he saves us $50 billion from the Girl Scouts and all this funding and whatever Joe Biden was spending the money on every year,
hmm,
well, that's 50 billion more dollars we could give to space research and getting us to Mars. So
yeah.
I
So
think
so the rich
there's
people can escape.
Oh, and bro, and I mean, like, like,
So
like you
yeah,
said, do you honestly think it was a coincidence that the CEO of Apple, the CEO of Google, and the CEO of Facebook and the CEO of Tesla were sitting right
right
behind
behind.
Donald
Yep,
Trump during his
yep,
inauguration? I mean,
yep.
they are there. And like, bro, like you said, and I love that it's we. This is why we ebb and flow together. We might disagree on some things, but I think at its core, we're both right there in the sense that when Biden was president, they complied completely with deplatforming Donald Trump. Like everyone forgets, like
Yeah,
Facebook, Apple, YouTube, Instagram, every single online platform that we use all collectively came together because of the word and document signed by Biden and the federal government that says, do not let Donald Trump on your shit.
yeah, yeah,
And now they're at the White House shaking his hand. Like
yeah,
they're so it's there's such a level of complexity to try to wrap your head around and to attempt to understand,
mm,
like, yeah, Elon probably does have an ulterior motive, but like at the end of the day, like where's the is there like is that once he accomplishes that goal, is it really going to affect us versus now or then? I don't know. It's such a I'm exhausted by it at the same time so deeply and heavily invested and just want to
yes,
know
yes,
every single
yes,
thing about it.
yes. Yeah, because I feel like you don't want to get hit over the head, and you don't want
Right.
to be bamboozled. So,
Right.
so yeah, like I'm learning that, as these headlines come out, like
Mm.
it's important to maybe stay informed, but it's also more important not to react to everything because
Yep.
some of it is propaganda, like in both sides, and both
Yep.
sides, even though there's a major push to where it's like, and that's I think my problem with Elon Musk is that like he literally only sees things one way, right?
Yeah.
And he plays into the house of cards. You know what I'm saying? He plays
Yep.
into like, oh, these people are bad and these people are good, and that's why it's like, no, it's not a bad or good. It's two different ways of looking at things, but like overall, what's gonna help us? And I
Yep.
think I think most of the things that he's doing is helping him. But back to Trump though, back to Trump.
Yep.
So if we think about like just the big things that he kind of campaigned on,
Mhm.
is he living up to his promises, right? So immigration, like just quick. We don't got to get.
Yeah.
You think he's living up to what he said with immigration?
As far as I'm concerned, yeah,
Okay.
I hear that Walmarts and kitchens everywhere are empty because anyone who is might even be related to someone who might be in this country or just have the wrong last name. Like
Yeah.
I hear ICE is picking up U.S. citizens all over the place. If your last name's Hernandez or whatever, like you're like public enemy number one.
Yeah.
My clip editor Jeff, he some of his family and his fiance's family like already like are getting phone calls
Yeah.
because they're like, what, when did you come here, let's recheck those papers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So along those lines, I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And but at the end of the day, I've also heard, and potentially I don't have 100% opinion formed on it yet, but from everything I hear and read and see, the open border policy that Biden had in place beforehand was apparently like the worst thing like ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did
Yeah.
we need to kind of regroup from that whole situation and the 3 million a day or 300,000 a day crossing into you know,
Yeah.
so yeah, theoretically, that's what he said. I think they said before he was inaugurated, day one would be the biggest ISIS deportation event in history. And
Okay.
from what I've heard, yes. So
Okay.
theoretically, yeah. If
Okay.
we're campaign promises, sure. Yeah, I'd say that's
And well, it's funny because you said last names. Are they only looking at Spanish speaking last names? Are they
well,
looking at Russian, last names and European, Muslim,
I
probably looking
think
at some Muslim last names. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I
Like,
think so. But I think I obviously getting them back to Mexico is probably the cheapest route. So who knows where
yeah.
we're at with other overseas deportations? Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Okay.
not. Yeah.
Is he living up to his bargain when he said like he's gonna fix the economy? Like, and just the economy. Let's not talk about the debt. Let's talk about the economy, like, and how we are living. Do you feel like there is an end of the road and like things are gonna get better? Whether we talking about the housing market, whether we talking about prices of food, is he living up so far? So far, because he's been making a lot of moves, but like, is he living up his end of
Yeah.
the bargain?
Well, that I'm gonna
I
say
don't think so. I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
say
so.
no on that one too, fam. But I don't. Again, that falls into the category of things I don't necessarily know too much about.
Okay.
And what is there anything the sitting president can do as far as his executive order to lower the price of eggs or the take the housing market back to the 2 to 3% that we all got in at over
Yeah, yeah,
COVID versus the 8% now? And so I don't know if that's like a Senate or House thing or if that's I don't know what type of executive order he could sign to make
yeah,
Giant comply to the egg prices. So, from what I've heard, according to JD Vance, they have to do this thing to get fuel costs down, and then the truck drivers will spend less, which means they'll be able to afford more product on the trucks, which then will inevitably trickle down to the profits of the farmer, and then eventually the eggs will get cheaper. And so can that be accomplished in a 3 month span? I doubt it.
yeah,
I think there's too many players at play when it comes to something like how we live and we feel and like the money that we're spending.
yeah,
So no, not right now.
yeah,
No, but I don't know if that's necessarily just because it can't be an instant thing.
yeah, yeah. I think Trump is crazy because he definitely speaks in what I call fine print.
Yeah,
He says the big thing, like that, the rallying cry, the MAGA type stuff, right? He talks about America first and all that. Like, so he says all that, but then he does literally say everything else that he's gonna do, but I feel like it gets lost on people, and
yeah,
it's like almost like he's speaking in fine print. Like,
yeah.
we never read the fine print. We don't know
Right,
exactly what he's got going on.
right.
He was heavily talking like, no, this ain't no Project 2025. What are you talking? I don't know nothing about that. But then everything that's kind of getting put in place, it feels very much like Project 2025.
Project 2025 was 100% something that he had to play in. Like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, we got you,
But
but
that's the thing. But
now,
people didn't know, like with Project
yeah,
25, it is talking about getting rid of like a lot of the government. When they say shrinking the government, I think people
yeah,
thought that they meant like just taking away people's power. Like, oh, this is gonna take democratic people's power.
right.
No, it's people
They're
behind
getting rid of
it.
whole departments
Yeah,
now.
they're getting rid of departments. They're going
Yeah,
like I mean, 50%, like they're getting rid of people. You know what I'm saying?
education,
All over the country.
yeah,
And these are people that voted for him.
yeah,
These are people that
right,
literally voted for him.
right,
And they're
right,
like I seen the one guy, he got fired from a job, and he's writing a letter like, "Hey Trump, but I was a good worker. Like, what can't you give me my job back, whatever?" And it's
right,
like, no, this is part of the play. Like, y'all weren't really listening, but this is a part of the play. Getting rid of like Medicaid and cutting funding for all these different programs and things like that. Like, and again, his base is the poor,
right.
disenfranchised, low economic Caucasian
Yeah.
people, man, of this country, man. And like, it's like, you know,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I mean, so and that just so and like another one of his big campaign promises was the taxes. We were
yeah.
supposed to get no tax on tips, no tax on crypto, and then eventually at one point he was like, income tax, forget it. Everything on your paycheck, all those taxes and fees, forget it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
now and I think a lot of that might just be rumors and social media and fake news and stuff like that. And like ever since I think Elon's been up in the IRS, now Trump's like, you know what? He's been on record saying, I'd love to get rid of the IRS tomorrow,
yeah,
but can that happen?
yeah,
Or like,
yeah,
well, then do we not have to file taxes? Like,
yeah. I don't,
okay,
yeah, a lot of us don't know what that even means. You know what I mean, when
right,
he
right,
says that,
right,
whatever. So,
right.
all
And I
right.
mean, go, yeah.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the only other big thing that I think that we haven't really touched on is the talks of getting rid of the entire Department of Education, which not
Yeah.
only affects most people like you and me personally and the kids and everything
Hmm.
else. And it's
Yeah.
like, what does that mean? Does that
Yeah.
mean my son's services go away? Does that mean your jobs or whatever? Like, are the kids gonna not have a high? Did you see the girl? There's some girl I think suing her high school right now because she just graduated high school with honors, and she can't even read or write because
Yeah,
just
yeah,
scan
yeah,
everything on your phone. You can type, it's fine, whatever.
yeah,
Tell Chat GPT to write it for you, and do you need to anymore? So
yeah, yeah,
that it's the education system. It's gonna be, bro. It's gonna be a fucking wild
yeah.
4 years, and we're only 3 months in.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
So
not even 3 months, a month and a half in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, all right, I'm gonna share a video. All right, so
yeah.
we're gonna switch gears. We're still talking about reacting to the world. We're gonna talk
Mhm,
specifically about Doge though.
mhm.
And I don't know. I think I sent this to you before,
Yeah.
and I don't think I got a reaction from you about it. But I want you to see this here. So
Okay.
let's pull this up here. Okay, these ladies, they're talking about Doge and like
Mhm.
everything they got going on. So
Two
it
white
says
girls.
here,
Yeah.
Musk saves Americans a whopping 2 cents each. Right. So
Okay.
this is we could probably dig into her sources a little bit, but
Hmm.
some of the stuff that she's saying and this
Yeah.
girl's saying is a little bit credible. But let's click here.
Doge people are idiots, and it's taken less than 24 hours to disprove their claim that they have saved $55 billion. So this account went through it really well, backed up by other reporting here. Momentum chaser. They're claiming that $55 billion has been saved via the Musk groypers going through everything. Let's see if this is the case. Here's one. So this is the biggest ticket item. They're talking about the DHS contract, and they listed as saving $8 billion. Actually, it's $8 million.
Math is really hard, Emma.
They missed a zero. Maybe that's
like
it. Maybe that's
zeros.
the only error that they made. And clearly they're using AI for this, which we can talk about. But then these USAID contracts listed at $655 million each. So $2 billion total. Wow. Wait, these are IDVs, not contracts. The $655 million is the entire set aside being triple counted. In the first 5 years, only $73 million was awarded and only 2 years remain. People are going to get the idea, but keep going. The Social Security IT services contract, they say it's worth $1 billion. Well, again, this contract spans 6 years. 80% has already been spent, to your point, Liz. Where are we at right now in terms of the actual amount saved by Elon and Doge?
They've corrected it to $8 million.
Right.
The Doge people are idiots.
So, okay. So Elon is taking what has been on paper for the last however many years, and whatever it says that the budget for these things are, not even how much was spent, how much time's left on the contract, how much is left on the grant, the bid, the whatever. He's just putting all the numbers into the calculator to make the biggest claim possible. And when in reality, again, we could check their sources.
Yeah,
It really only comes out to be about $8 million, which is what he just spent on fuel for like half a rocket. So, you know, it's what's, God damn it. What's so funny about this is like, you know, I'm in the middle because I can't, at the end of the day, it's like, you can't help but like, be like, wow, look, he's doing a great job. He's saving us all this money. The president of the United States, trust him. And then at the end of the day, we have two podcasters and a Twitter feed that allegedly knows more and can do better math than those two people. So how are we supposed to decide what road we go down? And by the way, the people who have never heard of Elon Musk before, like pretty much the boomer generation, our parents, my mom, Meg's parents, they knew Elon Musk was a Tesla guy and that was it.
Yeah.
But now that Donald Trump is on record saying, I trust this guy. There's something special about Elon. There's something real special about him. I trust him. And by the way, he's never asked me for a thing. So he's here on his own account. He wrote $250 million worth of checks in the matter of 6 months when most donors do that over 6 years. And so Elon Musk has just bought his way to become a best friend for Donald Trump.
Yes.
And those who never have heard of him
And that's
before,
chump change for 250 is nothing. That's like
those boomers who have never heard of Elon before are like, well, if Trump trusts him, so do I. So that means he's doing good for the country, and that means we're right as where we should be when it comes to Elon Musk and what he's doing. But in reality, the numbers you're getting are just coming off a Facebook post written by my Aunt Kathy. And so we take that and we run with it, and now that's the story. And that's the news.
So here's the thing when it comes to Doge and what I've been seeing is the fact that one, there have been some discrepancies with a lot of the numbers that they've been reporting, but then this is why the internet is weird, right? So we want transparency, right? So, but what we're getting is publicity. Publicity is not transparency, right? We are getting they're shooting all this stuff at us.
Such
like,
a
oh, they
quotable
say
clip
this.
that.
We showed up this, but like even the people within the government, even Republican senators and congressmen, because there was some that kind of voted against a part of the spending. They're saying that, yo, we have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Like, we don't even know where he's pulling these numbers from. Like the people that, because here's the thing, they're making it is like, oh, it's Democrats. It's all these Democrats. They've been lining their pockets with your money this whole time. Like that's who the enemy is. But it's even people within their own party that's saying like, nah, to be honest, we don't know what the hell what numbers he's even pulling from, because there's no actual transparency. And that's the problem with some of this type of stuff. We're looking at everything on a spreadsheet. We're not even considering
Well,
what is being actually affected, right? We're looking at numbers and we're saying, well, that's a high number.
but and I think
Maybe we
fam,
could cut that number in
but
half.
I think too, even if Elon was doing it the right way, there's no way that he would know that that's it. Like, because
Yeah.
like it's this weird intermixture of the truth and what's there and what's not. Like, so okay, great. So we just, because of that clip and because of the facts, we can look at it and be like, okay, maybe it wasn't $80 billion. It's more like 8 million. Big difference.
Yeah.
But then, like, okay, how do you rebuttal or refute the fact that, like, Elon uncovered all of the retiree government employee paperwork in a cave in the middle of Pennsylvania coal mines somewhere, and we can only retire so many people a month because that's how long it takes for the employee to go down into the cave and get the papers and all the files they need. Like, who's to say half the budget isn't down there? And it's just, it's become this huge, like, I mean, I've heard so much conspiracy theory after thing, after truth, after lie. Like, I just watched an hour-long podcast just because it was Tim Dillon, and I trust him, even though he's a comedian.
Mhm.
From a guy, Steve Bannon, whoever does the War Room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the first time I've ever heard him speak. I don't know
Oh,
anything
Steve
about
Bannon
him.
was Trump's man, like for a
Right.
long
And
time. I mean,
I
but Steve
learned
Bannon
that.
don't fuck with Musk. He don't fuck with Elon.
And so, but in that interview with Tim Dillon, I'll send it to you. I watched the whole thing start to finish. He's talking about how Elon's different, how he's not like the Bezos and the Apple CEOs of the world. And he's out here talking about how US aid was just a front for CIA funding. And like, I'm supposed to take that information and know exactly what it means and apply it to everyday life. And so, do I
Yeah.
trust him? Do I trust Elon? Do I trust, like, what source are you able? And that's like half the shit that Megs and I argue about, because her mom sees a post on Facebook that
Yeah.
says Elon and Trump are doing X, Y, and Z, when in reality it's fake. Like, her brother just sent us a tweet that said Trump was signing an executive order to get rid of all HOAs. And I'm like, hey guys, one quick Google search and you'll find out that this isn't fake news. So let's not share it on Facebook, because
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
will take it at face value.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just, again, this weird.
So do you think so government waste is a thing, right?
Yeah, of
But
course.
is it something that only happened in the last 4 years?
No, this has
Exactly.
been,
So
it's,
that but
well,
that's
so in,
so that's what
right.
that's what I said a couple episodes ago. It's like, I don't, sure, if we're finding that truly the
Mhm.
government was wasting our money, right? Like wasting our money on
Yep.
just frivolous things,
Yep.
sure, we can cut that out, whatever.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean, like, somebody's job isn't necessarily a waste. A department isn't necessarily waste,
Right.
whatever. So that's
Right.
where they're getting this at. But the defense budget doesn't move, right? The budgets and the contracts that Elon Musk gets, they're not going down, right?
Yep.
So it's like, how do we think that we're gonna actually get out of the deficit? Do we think it's gonna be from just government, like reducing government spending, or is it because the way that governments get revenue is through taxation, right?
Yes.
But if
Or-
we're cutting taxes, especially for people that
or-
make a lot of money, right?
Mhm.
Where's the revenue going to come from? And yes, you can chip away at some wasteful things, whatever, but like, that's a drop in the bucket, bro. It's not raining all
Yeah.
these dollars that he's making it seem. It's
Yep.
a drop in the bucket. And it's easy for you and here's the thing. This is why, because what you said, where it's like, oh, would people look at it a different way if he wasn't a billionaire? Well, here's the thing. He would look at a lot of these things differently if he wasn't a billionaire. Like, he don't have to worry about nothing, Levi.
Yep.
Like, he has to worry about nothing at all. Like, he don't know what it's like for people to have to pay to be
For
struggling
anything.
to pay for prescriptions. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He never went to American public schools. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
To know, like, oh, special education kind of matters, bro. And like, we got to keep certain things in line. So it's like, that's the problem. It's not the fact that he's rich, it's his perception of the world. He has no understanding of what a regular American person is going through, right? Whether they're and I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about he don't know what it's like to even be a white male in America. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't. Like he's not an American white male.
Right.
But he don't know what it's like to be black. He don't know what it's like to be a woman. He don't know what it's like to be disabled, a veteran. You know what I'm saying? Like there's all these different aspects where it's like yeah, I can look at fucking spreadsheets and just start cutting shit out because it none
Right.
of this
They
affects
must
him.
not need this.
They
Right.
must
They
not need
don't.
it. It must be
I don't need
wasteful.
this. They must not need it.
And
Right.
for him to call people that get government assistance parasites, but like a government contract it's government,
Right.
it's
Bitch, where's your money?
corporate,
Right. Make your
it's
own money.
corporate government
Yeah.
assistance, bro.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
mean, so that's why it's like, you know, if he was just some crazy mathematician that just, you know what I mean, whatever. You know, but it's like, but this idea that like, oh, these federal workers, like they became millionaires. Like, why did they become millionaires? Well, maybe they did have good paying jobs, right? But maybe because these fucking people knew how to invest money, yeah, just in general.
Right.
Like
Wow.
your personal wealth is not the same
Yeah.
as like, oh, you know, that fucking shit that came out of my check is going right into some man's pocket. Like it's not the same thing, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just it
Well,
makes me feel away,
some
man.
and just a smidge of a just kind of a little bit of a rebuttal or a hit back. I also think a lot of people are, when's the last time we've had a president that's been like, hey, I'm cleaning things up. We're gonna sift through all this spending and we're gonna figure out where the money's actually going and shut it. Like last time, I mean, what like Obama's big thing was healthcare, and Biden's big thing was, I don't know, some
I don't
whatever
even know.
he was sleeping most of the time, so he really didn't
Well,
have a thing.
yeah.
And so, or no, I'm sorry, Biden's big thing was the Ukraine, and so, but or the
Well, I
Democrats'
think
big thing.
that kind of got dropped in his lap though. Like his
Well,
big thing was like, yo, I'm gonna get everybody student loan forgiveness, and then it's
true,
crazy.
true.
Here's the hypocrisy of all this
Mhm.
is how Elon is like, man, can't no judge just take away our power and this and that, whatever.
Well,
But
they
like
shut him right
that's literally what they did to Biden every step of the
whole
way.
time.
This, so no, it's within. That's what I'm saying. He don't even understand how he doesn't even have a fundamental understanding of how our government works. He has people in his ear saying, no, 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 that's not right, that's not right,
Yeah.
and he's learning on the fly. And sometimes that's not a bad thing, but when you have a position in which he does have, it does seem a little bit problematic. And then especially when the White House, they can't even confirm that he's the leader of DOGE, right? They're like, no, he's not, because they don't want that smoke. They're like, no, he's not. We can't deny or confirm that he's the
Yeah.
person running it, whatever. It's somebody else, it's
Right.
like we see it, man. We know what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a mess, bro. It's a mess.
And it has been for a while,
Yeah.
and who knows when and where that started. Some people were taking it all the way back to Nixon or whatever. This is, it's just, it's not, it's just, it's become a situation where it was supposed to be this freedom, this country for the people, by the people,
Mhm.
and we've obviously been turned into something else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
will this go down in history as the time where it all got fixed? Who knows?
Yeah.
Can Donald Trump run again because he took a break for 4 years? Will we get a third Trump term? Like, who knows? Like, it's just, the next 4 years are going to be a roller coaster of emotions, and I think it's only the beginning.
Yeah, no, the answer is he cannot run, right? Because
Oh,
we've
okay.
had
Well,
we've had a president that had non-consecutive two
true.
terms.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So,
That's right.
but we'll see. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
they people are changing the rules and the perception of reality
Right.
every day, man. So we'll
Well,
see how that goes.
yeah.
But I'm just, and it's funny because I know that Elon is your guy. Elon is your guy.
I explained this on my podcast. I'll explain it again. I like his products. I like his
Sure.
products. I think, and I'm just a technology guy.
Okay.
Okay. And so if you've never driven a Tesla and you don't fully understand the technology that goes behind those vehicles, then you can't be a part of the argument. I'm sorry. That's
Okay.
just how and that's it.
Okay.
That's it. And that's
All
all
right.
I'm just, it's just a situation where I fully believe that vehicle compared to every other electric vehicle on the market is superior. Now,
Okay.
does that have anything to do with Elon Musk? Absolutely not. I'm pretty sure Elon Musk didn't invent like the first Tesla. He came in, bought the company. Like, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure he's just the face of it now. So
Yep.
the audacity that they have sending out an email asking federal workers what they've done in the last 5 days, to the point where the employees of Tesla should be emailing their boss, like, what have you done for Tesla in the last 5 days, Mr.
Yeah.
Musk?
Yeah.
Like, so trust me, I separate the product and the company from the person. I
Okay.
understand that they are symbolically one, but in my brain and way of thinking, I just want a Tesla and it has nothing to do with the man who owns the company.
I hear
So.
that. I hear that. All right, that's a good segue though, man.
Yeah.
So speaking of technology,
Mm.
speaking of technology, so I don't know. Have you seen that Apple, man, they invested, what is it? It's a $500 billion investment
Yep.
into technology, into different technologies.
Mm.
What did I see here? It was Apple to invest.
So they're spending 500 billion in the US over the next 4 years, with teams expanding to Michigan, Texas, California, Arizona, Nevada, Iowa, Oregon, North Carolina, and Washington D.C.
Nice.
Plus a new humongous gigafactory in Texas because zero taxes.
Okay, okay.
And
And it's supposed to be 20,000. They're gonna supposed to be hiring 20,000 people
Yep.
in this next, like, what, 4 or 5 years? What is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, and this,
Yeah.
I mean, bro, it's 1000% Trump's doing. This is
Oh, okay.
1000% just basically for Apple to avoid any of the because that is another thing we really didn't talk about with the Trump
Yeah,
segment,
tariffs. Yeah.
tariffs. And
Yeah.
so what biggest United States company than Apple, who gets all of their phone parts and literally everything that they sell directly from China, there's no way they survive. There's no way the Apple fanboys don't switch immediately to Google, which would also be hit with the tariffs. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if the iPhones cost 30% more because everything's coming from China, well, what better way to save that money? Put it into this United States. Oh, and I'm going to assume that if their friend Donald Trump said, "Hey, Tim Apple, if you do this in this country instead of over there, I'm going to give you a 30% higher tax cut on whatever this, spending infrastructure in half of the states of the country is going to then provide for the economy and everything else." So, I think that's all really is at play here. It's whatever Donald Trump told Tim Cook to do, and he said, "Yes, sir, I'm here to do it." And also their AI initiative, along with every other tech company on the planet. Apple's got a lot of work to do, as well as all the other companies here in the AI department. So
Hmm.
when you need that amount of power and everything that they think they do to run these AI server farms, and inevitably what they're building out in Texas, 500 billion is going to be spent in about 2 minutes. So,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because that stuff is expensive. But it's interesting though that you said that he's kind of just doing whatever Donald Trump says. But like Tim Cook and Apple, they're one of the very few companies that still are holding on to the DEI initiatives, even though
mm,
Trump has said to him, "Hey, man, I think you should drop that." So how do
well,
you
you
explain that?
can, well, because I think that might either it plays a smidge to Trump's power over the DEI/LGBTQ plus community, because those are two separate things. And when you have someone like Tim Cook, who is a prominent gay man,
Oh, see,
well,
you
you
know what? I
can't.
don't think I knew that. I don't think I really knew
I don't think a
his.
lot of people do. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
something. Yeah, he's been with his husband for quite some time now,
Okay.
and
Okay.
so
Wow.
when now you're dealing with a completely different acronym of letters. So I don't think with his current personal status that Tim Cook could, nor would he want to. The Apple has always been a prideful company in the sense of their color schemes and their donations and everything else. So I would venture to guess that if anyone were to, if ever, get rid of a DEI initiative, Apple would be the last one.
Okay.
So that would, yeah, I
So
wouldn't,
he
that
has
doesn't,
to, like, because of his own personal identity, you're
you
saying
know,
he has to kind of like still play for the team, so to speak.
yeah,
Like,
not in the sense that Tim Cook's chomping at the bit to get rid of Apple's DEI programs, but I would just venture to guess that based on who he is and his personal beliefs outside of the Apple as an organization, he's going to continue to run the company the way he had. Because let's be honest, the Apple was prideful and I think even had DEI initiatives way before that kind of became
Yeah,
this
popular.
Biden
Yeah,
whatever popular thing.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
that makes sense to me.
Okay. So this investment in these jobs, you're saying that this is just all to build up AI technology, or are they going to start actually manufacturing all the phones here? Like, is
Uh,
that an investment to that, or is that separate?
Yeah, well, I think part of it, according to the article I found, it is they're going to start manufacturing chips. So their
Wow.
M1, their Apple silicon chips that they make, I think part of this is going to come here because that's also AI and chips, just go hand in hand. You need a
Yeah,
chip to
yeah.
run the thing. So that's going to be, I think, a big thing as the factory workers go. And then obviously they'll expand their cloud infrastructures. That's just, rows of server racks everywhere. So you just need acres and acres for that too. And so I think yeah, I think they're probably for the time being. I don't know if tariffs on China started yet. I think last I
I remember they
heard
were pausing it, right?
they were
Like they
pausing shipments or something.
Yeah. Well, no, they were
I'm
pausing the tariffs for like
okay.
a certain amount of time because
Okay.
just to get figure like because that's they paused them on
Right.
Mexico and Canada
Right.
as
Right.
well. Yeah, I mean
Right.
whatever, but
So I think they'll probably still, and I mean, hey, this 500 billion, we probably won't see any effects or construction or open buildings of it probably for another few years, I'm sure. So I would say this might set Apple up to potentially manufacture more of the parts here.
okay.
I don't think that's probably going to be their first play.
Yeah.
Just because it's China. There's a reason they've got technology and just the way of even shipping it across the ocean is still cheaper than somehow manufacturing it here. Because you have to think those 20,000 jobs are 1,000% going to 100% US citizens. So those 100% US citizens are going to require at least 18. What's
Well,
the
that's not
minimum?
true. That's not true. They said a lot of these jobs are still going to be going to people on those visas, on those special visas and stuff like that. It's not, yeah, it's not supposed to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but hey, a decent amount of those 20,000, I'm sure will require whatever, 18, $20 an hour. So again, I think that it's going to be more lenient towards the AI and the servers and the technology that they kind of can maintain and keep their profit margins on. And as long as they can still outsource to China, of course.
Okay. Okay. It So I don't know. Are there any? I guess just talking about Apple. Like, what's the latest kind of thing right now with Apple? Like,
Um,
is a new phone just released, right? Like
the
the new.
latest the latest kind of thing is that the iPhone 16e is not for anyone on this planet to buy. The everything with inside of it is just an iPhone 15. It costs more than an iPhone 15.
Okay.
The reason it exists is just because Apple stock price. I don't know. There's
Okay.
no
Okay.
reason if just watch 5 minutes of MKBHD's video, every feature of this iPhone, the things they took away, like it doesn't have MagSafe anymore, so you have to have a
Oh.
case if you want to use like a magnet attachment that everyone does now. The cameras from the iPhone 15, the battery's small, like it just there's no reason, just buy an iPhone 15 for $200 less.
Okay.
And so that's kind of not going to sell well. Apple Vision Pro, which they announced last year, was a major flop.
Mm,
Um, $4,000 device that you can really only wear for like 30 minutes a day.
yeah.
That we'll see if they bring like like an actual affordable one this year, a V2. Who knows? They might take a break from that
Yeah.
just to let the tech catch up. A lot of these other companies like Facebook and Snapchat have actual glasses like this now that
Okay.
are basically Apple Vision Pro. It's
Okay.
not ready for the consumers. We've only seen like one working model of those said glasses,
Okay.
but by the time we actually get there, it'll be like this instead of a whole freaking goggle system with cameras on. It's just a whole mess. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was kind of a flop. AI, guess what? all of the Apple Intelligence AI features that they promised at their keynote a year and a half ago still haven't rolled out. Part of the reason I bought the 16 versus just a 15 this year, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, much like every other AI device that was promised.
So all right, but that's the thing. Like when we really talk
Yeah,
technology, when me and
yeah,
you really talk technology, it's always about it really truthfully, it's always about like what Apple isn't doing, right? But
yeah.
then why do you keep buying their products? Like why do you why is the Kool-Aid taste that good, bro? Like you know what I'm saying? And like I seen another and this type of stuff still hits my algorithm, but it's like still people will just be like Android and Apple, and it's like, bro, who I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be an individual
yeah,
or whatever. I like what I like. Like we've never even with when it comes to cars and things like
yeah,
that, you never get that. You don't get somebody saying like, huh, you have this versus
yeah,
this,
yeah,
like a little bit, but not the way we have it with the phones and stuff.
yeah.
But it's like,
It's bro, I think honestly that I think that whole argument just stems from the beginning days of smartphones.
okay,
Like it was just this arms race to see what the new Android one had this year versus the
yes,
S2 versus the Galaxy S3 to the iPhone 3GS. And so I think we hit a point probably 5-ish, maybe more years ago
yeah,
to where it fluctuates.
it,
Sometimes the new hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? The brand new Galaxy S25
yeah.
is the same freaking phone as the S24.
Hey, well, I got an
And
S24, so that's
if
like,
you're looking for comparison, there isn't one. And so
okay,
like they yeah, they upgraded I think the chip, but the cameras are the same, the software is the same, the everything's the same. There's like a very incremental update, and that's exactly what every new iPhone is now. And
yeah,
so I guess in my mind, for me, it's the legacy products, right?
okay,
Like the at its core, iOS and Mac OS will remain the same.
yeah, yeah,
But along the way, we're gonna get new things like iPad OS and AI and Apple Intelligence that will then be baked into the phone and the computer. And so, in my mind, when they promise me, like, here's the thing: you don't hear anyone because it's not on your algorithm; it is on mine. But so be it. You don't hear anyone talking about the Apple M4 Mac Mini. Who
yeah.
no because but it is arguably the best product that Apple has ever released. It is
Wow.
arguably the best personal home computer that's ever been released. You cannot buy a PC with these specs, this speed, this amount of whatever they are doing with their new M4 chip that works so well with the software and the RAM and everything else.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
cannot buy a mini PC that is as powerful as this machine for more than
A
double
mini.
the
You're talking about a mini PC though.
just yeah,
Yeah,
my Mac Mini, it is this big, fam. It is
yeah,
this big. I can put it in my book bag and take it anywhere. And to have a PC that small, it's not possible. It will
yeah,
cost you
yeah.
a
True.
$1,000 or more, and this costs 500 out the box.
Okay, okay.
So it's this arms race that Apple has to now keep up with because we
Yeah,
are at a point where Google and Samsung are as big, as equally as big as Apple, maybe not in market cap or dollar bills or whatever it is, but at the end of the day, they're as popular and as many people buy Android phones as they do iPhones. So
yeah,
in order to keep up and not fall behind, we have to announce Apple Intelligence. We have to announce
yeah,
a headset. We have to go into VR. We have to do this because we know they know what Google's doing. Before the
yeah,
public does, before the leaks, before everything else,
yeah,
Apple 100% knows what Google is working on right now for next year.
yeah,
So they have to do the same.
yeah.
And much like companies in the past and prior have failed at products, you know what I mean? There's plenty of Google and
Of
Samsung and
course.
Android products that get announced or software features that are just trash out the box.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I just think that's where we're at with that.
Okay. So
And so
it's all it's just flexing for the sake of
yeah,
flexing.
yeah. Well, I mean, At the end of the day, some of it is, but hey, I'll be the first to admit there are days that I wish I had a Samsung Galaxy S24 because of the camera, or I don't know if you've seen it, but the Magic Eraser now that's in everyone's AI phone
Yes,
apps. If
yes,
you try to
yes.
remove something, these sunglasses off of my face with your phone, you'll get a face behind it
Yeah,
because it's going
yeah,
to go in your phone. It's going to
yeah.
find a picture of my face that you already have on it, and it's going to make it good. Apple is a blurred smudge because it doesn't know what's behind my head or how to
Okay.
remove. So there's there
It's like
they're
it's like
always
when you remove the background, it's like there's no
right,
background. Like
right,
this.
right. So they're always kind of just trying to keep up with each other and doing the most. And it just sucks because Apple is now, unfortunately, which I wish they wouldn't have, and I didn't think they would, but they've fallen into this promise, this future promise of functionality. The
Okay.
same thing the Rabbit R1 did, the same thing the Humane
Oh
AI device
man,
pin
yeah.
did. And now Humane shutting down. They sold to HP. The devices are bricks. You can't use them. They cost $700 a piece, fam. Some people
Damn.
just bought them a year ago and they're dead now.
Damn.
So, this future promise of updates and functionality, Apple has now also fallen into because we were supposed to get this magical AI version of Siri that was supposed to run my whole life. That's why I've got the email app that sucks and not the
Yeah.
Gmail app because Siri can look at it and tell me what my day's like. And it
Yeah.
can't do that yet.
That's crazy. That's funny. That's
So,
funny.
I Apple's right there on my same damn list as Elon Musk. I want the new iPhone, I want the Tesla, but are they running companies great? Should
Yeah.
they call me? Yeah,
They
probably.
probably should. Yeah,
They
they
should
probably
just
should.
call me. And
Just call you. Solve all the
that's the
problems.
motto. You know what I mean?
They call me. Yep.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right, let's move on, man. That's good. That's good stuff, man. All right, man. We're gonna get into our bag, man, a
Yep.
little bit. And
Yep.
hopefully you've been watching, right? And I just and we're not gonna go. We don't gotta go start to finish. We
No.
could just kind of just
No.
give reactions. So
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about Love Is Blind. So recap and record time, baby. Recap and record time. So
Yep.
have you seen the latest season? Is this season 9? Is this
This is
season 9?
season 8.
Season 8. Okay,
This is
season. Oh yeah,
season
because I
8.
yeah. Oh my God,
They're
that
already
post that you put that you I saw about season 9. Do you think they're really gonna start using dish figured
no.
people and
No.
like
No.
that's
So
crazy?
that came from so there's a Twitter account called Pop Crave that
Okay,
like does all the celebrity news, but there's a parody account called Poo Crave.
Pook.
And they'll take news like that and make shit up. But fam, I wish they would. I
You might as
wish they
well. You
would.
might as well.
Listen,
You might as well.
they've already picked a spot for season 10. Season 9's already done. We're getting season 9 at the end of this year, the same way we got it last
Okay,
year.
okay.
And I'm done. I'm done with the same 6 white guys looking the same. They gave a 6 pod episode. Shut the fuck up.
Yo, all right. So, all right, yes, yes. So we're in season 8 of Love Is Blind, right? And yes, this season is the whitest shit I've ever seen in my life,
Like
Levi.
kill you, like
Like.
bro. Even the one brother, dude. Even the one brother. He's like, yeah. Unfortunately, there's something you got to know about me. I got an addiction. I'm a pill popper. I got an addiction. And listen, bro, I'm not downplaying this man, but when he said he's addicted to, he popped 10 ibuprofen at one time. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, are you okay, my guy? Like, I'm sorry. I'm not downplaying it. I understand addiction's a serious thing, and I would never, but like, ibuprofen, bro.
So I'm watching it, right? And I'm like, yo, this is I don't know. There's
Bro,
something different about this season, right? So
I
I'm
had to have
looking.
Megs. I had to have Megs tell me every time a different dude was on the screen. I'm
Yo,
like, what's his
yo,
name? What's
they
his
all
name?
look alike, bro. They all
Dave,
are the
Jake,
same.
Jack, fucking.
And they got yo, there's no variety in any of the people. They all the white dudes look the same. Like really everybody looks the same.
Mhm.
Like they even the black people they got on there, they light skin. They got the highest yellow black people that they could find. You know what I'm saying?
We
For
don't
this
even fuck with them for real. For being
and
honest.
well, I'm pretty
No,
I'm
no,
pretty
no, no.
yellow too
Yeah,
myself.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but no. So I'm like, yo, off the rip. Once I seen the first episode, I said, "Oh, where's this shit at? Where's this shit at?" And then I was waiting. I was like, Somebody said St. Paul. I said, "What the fuck? They decided to do a season in Minnesota."
Minnesota.
you know there
There,
ain't that many black people in Minnesota. You know what I'm
none,
saying? Whatever.
literally none whatsoever. The people they probably got are right on the border. They're like, can we go one town over because there's a couple over here we're really trying to get. Oh
Like,
man.
yo, but yeah, like they all have generic names. It's a lot
Yep.
of Dans and Toms and Sarahs and Billies, and I mean, like I can't tell any of them apart for real. Like none of the couples really stand out. But there has been some drama, and yeah, like you said, they was in the pods for the whole season, basically. Like,
Bro,
was it 6 episodes
bro,
in the pods?
so I'm gonna be straight with you. I've officially only seen, I think, 5 episodes, but thanks to TikTok, I don't see movies or shows anymore because
Oh,
TikTok, every other thing is once I'm on the algorithm, you get everything. Like there's an Apple Plus movie called The Gorge. I really wanted to watch it.
yeah.
I saw it within 15 minutes. I saw 12 TikToks. I saw the beginning, middle, and end. So I'm
Mm.
caught up. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
These they are in the pods for 6 episodes. We were just on episode 5 last night, and
Yeah.
the conversations ended with "You're my number one.
My
I
still
could
my
see
number one.
myself marrying you, and I love you." And I'm like, "Bet there he's engaging."
Yep.
No, no question.
It's
The
another yeah.
next episode. Are you insane? What the editors? Come on, bro. Make it a short season. Oh, and by the way,
You
we're
know, but
still
we've been wanting them to flesh this stuff out for a while, and then they're gonna choose
this season, right? No,
the most
no,
uninteresting people
no,
to like stretch
no.
it out, whatever. And then they basically made two women like the stars
Yep,
of these 6 episodes, and they didn't even get picked
yep.
by nobody. Like
Bro, and
they
we're
didn't
still
speak
doing
with
this.
nobody.
We're still doing this BS where like the couples got engaged in the pods, but we didn't take them over here to the
Yes.
thing. And it's like, then what? Why are we doing the show?
Yeah.
Why
Wow.
are we
Yes.
doing the
Yes.
like? It's
Yes.
so broken. This season is. It's
They're
not.
trying to show Nick and Vanessa a little bit more. Like they like because I think I got to like episode like eight, seven
Mm-hmm.
or eight, and
Mm-hmm.
like they did like a little segue where they're like, "Oh, welcome." So this is the
Yeah.
toughest part, and I was like, "Oh, y'all putting them on camera more because we told y'all they don't work. Like they don't even
Right.
really have a job. Like there's no reason for them to even be there. Like it literally could be like too hot to handle, and you could have like a little Siri box. Yeah, I mean, because like
Yep.
that's
Give
all.
them a
That's
home
all they
pod.
do.
Yep. Yep. Give them Amazon Alexa. And guess what? They got Alexa Plus now with AI, so that bitch can just run the whole show. And when they've been in the
Oh.
pods long enough, Alexa's gonna come over the speaker and say, "Hey, that's it. We got to wrap this up. Let's go.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
to go to Cabo Wabo." This whole Man, it's you cannot have a show called Love is Blind when every single person on the show just looks the same. Well, of course,
yeah,
we're going to answer that question right away. I'm telling you, if you don't start getting some Down syndrome baddies or some just like, yo, give me like a light skinned sister with some curly hair. Give me
yeah,
an ugly white dude. Give me a big
yeah,
ass nose. Give me some like
yeah,
find people because guess what? That shit's gonna go viral.
yeah.
That's gonna
Oh
like
yeah, they
that's your
got yeah.
moment. So why
You
are
need some
we?
ugly ducklings, man, in there. You know what I mean?
It's gotta be. We gotta switch it up. We've got to do something different
Yeah, yeah.
because this 10 now when we've already got 2 more seasons. I'm sure they're gonna keep going after that because it's just gonna keep printing money because we're gonna keep freaking talking about it.
Yep, yep, yep.
And I'm the only couple that I think that is worth talking about just because he's manipulative asshole who won't stop talking about his damn sister
Oh my
is
God.
is is I think Dave and Lauren.
Dan and Lauren. Yeah,
Dave,
Dan and Lauren.
I think
Yeah.
it's Dave. I'm pretty sure
I
it's
thought it was
Dave.
Dan. I thought his name was Dan. I think his name was Dan, bro. Daniel. He's
See now
Daniel.
that might be your race card playing there. Dave and Lauren.
No, it's Daniel, bro.
Nah, fam, it's Dave.
Are you
Dave and
sure?
Dave and Lauren from Love Is Blind season 8. That's what I mean. You don't even know. You can't even. You can't even.
Well, all right. So Dave, right? So that was the weirdest thing because like when they're talking, she's like he knows like two of her exes, and I'm thinking like, damn.
Right.
So like all these other seasons have obviously they take place in big cities, whatever. And I'm like,
Mhm.
yes, the Twin Cities that is a big. It still is a big market. They're one of those cities that have like four
Uh-huh.
sports teams, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I'm like, this shit is still small as hell.
Yeah, it's
If
still a
you
small
got
town.
if we got Eskimo Bros and this guy's talking about Eskimo Bros on Love Is Blind. Like we've never had that before. Like we've never had somebody say, "Oh yeah,
Mm.
you was dating my man's outside."
Last season there was one of like the girl and the guy who
Yeah,
she
but like they
knew,
knew each other or whatever. But
right?
like you ain't had
Not
nobody
by
like.
proxy.
Yeah,
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 no,
yeah,
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 like there's
yeah.
not like if I'm a contestant and then
Right.
I'm dating this girl and like, yeah, oh yeah, you know you know Levi, yeah,
Uh,
that's my brother, like, yeah, I
right.
mean, that's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
boy,
yeah.
whatever. Like we've never had that, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that was weird. And I just thought like, oh, like I like off the rip, I don't want her, I don't want her.
No,
Like I
no.
like people that I know her, people
Mhm.
that I know done smashed her. And ain't nobody getting no ass. Like, I don't know if you realize, like, you're not even that far yet. Bro, ain't nobody having sex, bro. Like, it's whack, bro. I'm like, yo, like, if I'm
Wasn't the one black couple just like dry humping in the pool or something?
it
Like
looked like they was yeah
yeah,
they were a lot of heavy petting but
yeah.
like they're at the port they I just seen the mixer and then the guy Dave he's being weird he keeps asking everybody like hey
You have
you
sex
have
yet?
sex yet
You have
you have
sex
sex
yet?
yet you have sex
Yeah.
yet you have sex
But
yet
he ain't
and
fucking.
the one couple did have sex
Sure.
but they're weird they got fucking names from Friends Joey and Monica you know what I'm
Joey
saying
and dude, when Meg said, I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner, and she's like, oh, Joey and Monica just got engaged. And
like
I'm like, was that a Caucasian joke because they all look the same? And she's like,
yeah yeah
no, that's their names. And I'm
yeah
like, okay, that's not gonna work out.
that's not gonna
Like
work
it
out
just,
no.
oh my God.
Did you see the one part like one couple and again I don't know their names where she thought that he knew her from outside and she
Mm,
was like so she you know they do the match whatever and
mm-hmm.
then she's like they show her they cut a cut scene and she's in a hotel and she's like I couldn't sleep last night and then they're like what's going on and she's like there's something about this guy. I think he knows me. I think he knew what I look like, and I think he's being manipulative. And then she's like, "Oh, did you? I think you follow me on Instagram back in the
I
day." And
think
then
that
he's like,
might have been Lauren and Dave. I think
"No, that's not Lauren. No, I know that's
okay,
not Lauren. I
okay,
know that's not
okay.
Lauren."
See, and all the girls are just blonde and semi-attractive. Like it's just they all. Ugh.
Yeah,
See,
well, this
can't
girl,
even.
she accuses this guy of
Yeah,
like
of
following,
following him.
and
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh yeah, I see.
Yep.
Don't you have a picture like this?" And he's like,
Uh.
well, I do have a picture like that looks like this, but it doesn't have this detail." And she's
Right.
like, "Nah, I think you lying." And then she finds out that she was wrong. And then so it's like, how do you even come back from that? I'm like, bitch,
They all be
I don't want
lying.
to
They're
be
all
here no more with your dumb ass. Like,
right. Like, how dare you? Yeah. Like, we don't even trust each other, and you're just going off your instinct of an Instagram follow. Like, man, I think, look, man, the fact that Dave won't let us meet his sister and he broke up with Lauren over it, I'm
oh,
pretty
really?
sure.
Oh, to see, I didn't even get that far. I didn't
Oh
even get
yeah, I'm
that
pretty
far.
sure Lauren and Dave don't make. Yeah, they broke up
Okay.
because his family refused to meet Lauren
Oh,
because
wow.
he wasn't 100% on her, and so he didn't want to put his sister through
Cause she
that.
ain't giving no ass.
This mystery sister. The conspiracy theory is either Dave's hitting it or she doesn't exist, and
Oh,
so
wow.
who knows, bro?
Wow.
It's
Wow.
frustrating because every episode's an hour and we
I
have to sit
know.
through this shit and it's like, bro, I'd rather, and you know what, we are, and I'd rather be, and Megs is also on board because she wasn't at first, but Megs is now, would rather watch Could Have Been Love by Drewski. Like we are more in tune to that every week to see if Meatball and Asian Persuasion are
Oh.
moving on to the next round.
Oh my God. That's crazy. I hate Meatball, bro. I hate her,
Oh my God,
man.
dude. It's like are you watching? Did you
No,
watch?
no, I don't.
Okay.
Where do we see that? Yeah, so like, all right, so Love Is Blind, we already know
Out.
it's whack.
Dunzo Funzo.
I'm passively watching it, but I'm glad we're not
Yeah.
recapping it
No.
because there's no
You
pressure. You know what I'm
can't
saying?
anymore, bro.
It's
I'm
done.
done with I
Yeah.
think Netflix reality shows.
Okay.
We're either gonna stick strictly to HBO and Game of Thrones or just come up maybe we'll find something new that we
Okay.
can
Okay.
watch together because yeah, Love is Blind. I'm not risking it. I'm not. We
Okay.
can't. We don't have. Maybe
Yeah.
if it's a bomb season in the pods, we can come back for a special episode. But as
Yeah.
far as that goes, we're done. We're
Yeah. Yeah.
retired from from
So
Netflix
so
love.
what else are you so all right, with that being said, what else are you kind of recapping and recording, so to speak?
Yeah, well, so I mean, I on my own, I started up the show Blacklist. That was
Okay.
an NBC
Yes, I
show
remember the
with
Blacklist.
James Spader.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of James Spader. I think his
You've
dialogue,
always been a
yeah.
fan of him?
Mhm.
Okay.
And when the show was on, I think I watched the first couple seasons, but now it's all on Netflix, so I'm just cruising through.
Okay.
But like I said, man, as far as everything new, could have been love. It's on YouTube,
Okay.
free. It's on Drewski's YouTube channel, free every Thursday or Friday. He drops it.
Okay.
And and he describes it this way, but it's basically just it's a throwback to like the Flavor Flav,
Yeah.
I Love New York, VH1 kind
Okay.
of reality love dating show. And this man's got he's got everyone on every version of every race and female and sexuality that you can imagine is in this house competing for the love of Drewski.
Okay.
And I think, man, the only real reason, or one of the main reasons I wanted to talk to you about this is because I just need you to clear some of it up.
Okay. All right.
Megs and I, we're chalking it up to two things. One, it's our generation. I think we're just getting a little bit older and we're not on to some of the lingo that some of the youngins are using these days. And
Okay.
two,
Okay.
obviously, the skin complexion, we're just not sure. But we've put two and two together, and I think
Okay.
I've got
Wait.
a bit of a grasp. The term stud, is
Yes.
that basically just
It's a
black
all right,
lesbian? Like,
derogatorily, it's a dyke.
right, right.
Like so
Okay.
it's a masculine presenting woman. That's a
Yes.
stud.
Yep.
But time out.
Okay.
It's an attractive masculine
Right.
presenting. Like, yeah,
Okay.
because dyke is still kind of
Yeah.
used, butch is still kind of used,
Yeah.
but like no, a stud kind of like if she threw on some makeup, like
Right.
that bitch might be bad, bro. Like you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
And
So
some of
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So Drewski does have a thing for studs.
Okay.
And I think I don't know. Yes,
Where does
anatomy. It's not get you know what I mean. Like she has the
yeah.
right parts, but I
Uh-huh.
think it's too adjacent to like
That was my next
some funny
question.
stuff, bro.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, is it a
it's
little
not for me.
sus? Right. I was gonna say, so where then do we rank Drewski on the LGBT scale? Because is that like
See, but I
because
think
so a lot of the girls in the house, not spoiler alert, but all the studs in the house, most of them are exactly what you described. Like the one girl showed up in jeans and a hoodie, but then she put a dress and makeup on and she was like,
yes,
you wouldn't have whatever, but a lot of them are more on the masculine lesbian side, claiming they never had sex with a man.
yeah,
They're kind of just here for the money.
yeah.
But at the same time, they're like, I'd give Drewski a shot. You know what I mean? If I had to, I would. But like, then like every time Megs and I are watching an episode, there's 3 episodes out. So you're not
Yeah.
too far behind.
And where can you watch this?
YouTube. It's
Oh,
just on
YouTube. Oh,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yep.
Sure. Okay.
Yep. Yep. And we're just like, we kind of get that. Like he's more into these studs more and more each episode. And I'm like, is Drewski gay? Like, is it
So
kind of,
I think it goes back to like, all right, so obviously he has money now, so he
yeah,
doesn't have to
right.
deal with these women, whatever. But I think for a fella like him who is a bigger guy,
Yeah.
and not even saying he's bad, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Some women might think he's okay, some women might think he's handsome, whatever. But I think probably when he was not famous and just a regular guy, I think he probably struggled to get
Anyone to
in.
hold you down. Right.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
get with certain things. So like it was probably easier for him to like relate to that. Cause like I think, yeah, it is. If you're a guy that can get any girl, like if just hypothetically, if you're a
Yeah.
guy that can get any girl that you want and like you lean towards that demographic, yes,
Yeah.
I would say that you not that far away from
Yeah.
what I mean, catching instead of receiving, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
So, but like, yeah, I think it has to do with like maybe how he grew up or whatever, and because the way he talks about it, it seems like this has been his like that's his thing, like
Right.
that's like, and it sounds like because the clips that I've seen, yeah, it seems like it's a little bit of a fetish because he's just
Well,
like, yeah,
he was talking to Charlemagne about it, and like, he was like, at the end of the day, I just want someone I can vibe with, and if that person, you know what I mean, is a female, and also they can talk to me about the sports and be one
yeah,
of the
yeah,
bros and eat the wing and do the whole like, you know what I mean? Then hey, that's cool too. That's, you know what I
yeah,
mean? That's a friend. That's what we look for
yep,
in a partner,
yep,
someone who can be your best friend. And so, you know, if there's a potential
Yeah, but I don't
of
want no shorty that could possibly wear my clothes. Like, I mean, like I don't
well,
mind
he has
sharing my
been
clothes a little
he
bit.
did say that. He did say that. He was like, "Yo, we could share clothes." Like, you know what I mean? And I'm
No,
like,
no, no,
"No.
no.
Nah,
I'm
you
good.
just wake up one day and Shorty's wearing like your favorite basketball shirt. Like you can't find your basketball shirt. She's just down in the chair.
Yeah, nah. Like I don't mind sharing a
Right,
t-shirt to
right,
sleep
right,
in or
right,
a pair of sweatpants real quick, but
right, right.
like you, yeah, I mean,
You're not going to the
we buy
gym
the
and want my
we
good
buy we were in
outfits,
the
right?
same section shopping
Yeah.
at the same stores. You know what I'm saying? Like your sneaker collection is better than mine. Like fuck out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
nah.
interesting. It's a new wave of kind of this of dating and maybe probably something like I said due to the generation gap, something that
Yeah.
you and I might not 100% understand but can kind of see this thing. And I think if I had to guess, if I had to make a prediction for the overall, you know, ending of the season, I did watch Drewski just to learn everything I could about Drewski and the show and all. He was on doing another interview, I think, with Kelly Clarkson or one of the
Okay.
Kelly some daytime talk show.
Okay.
And Kelly Hudson, maybe something like that.
Jennifer Hudson?
Jennifer Hudson, I'm sorry. Yes,
Yes,
Jennifer
yes.
Hudson shows. And he was and she was like, "Well, do you find love?" And he was like, "Well, I can't spoil anything." And he says, "But I found something. I definitely found something." So it ended good. And to that, I would say Homeboy picked a stud,
Yep.
and that's who won the show.
Yep.
So
And
we'll
yeah.
see. We'll see. And like you said, I didn't know that some of these girls that are on the show were like already like you know who
Yes.
Meatball
Yes,
is.
yeah.
Like so
She's on baddies and like she's a
uh-huh.
personality. She fights girls
Yeah,
and
she's
it's crazy, bro. It's
she
yeah.
she was it was between in the first episode, mini spoiler, in the
Yeah.
first episode during elimination, it was between the bottom two was Meatball and some chick who was definitely should have been picked. And Meatball was on the ground crying like, "You how you do me like that, man? Like how like drop it like how you do me like that, Drewski?"
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then he sends the other girl home and she's like, "Ah, bitch, it was me."
yeah.
She's got, but bro, I'll tell you one other spoiler right here. The house, the bathroom, nasty. There's like they did a lot, there's shit all over the seat. There's a smell in the rooms. Like some of these females, it's bro, it's straight goal accomplished. It's straight I love New York flavor,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
VH1 reality. It's fun. You
Respect,
know
yeah.
what? In a world of me having to be bored to death watching the same conversation on Love is Blind every three
Oh
minutes,
my
it
gosh.
is
Yeah, I bet you that's like way better.
oh, it's so much better to the point where Megs wants to watch it now. She was like, "What is it?" I told her, "Hey, we're not watching Love is Blind this year unless you watch Could Have Been Love with Me before each episode. We
There you
watch one
go. There you
episode of Love
go.
is Blind, we watch one episode of Could Have Been." And she's like, fine." But now she's on my team and is fully on board with Drewski. So it just Could Have Been Love. I can't recommend it more because in a world of politics and Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Love
It's
is
nice
Blind,
escapism.
it really he and the production's there. He's got Caleb from Sunday Conversation
Okay.
as the host. He's got a little midget friend is this guy
Oh
who brings the
man.
flowers out. It's just comedy
Yeah,
and it's good.
that's what's
I'm
up.
into it.
That's
So
what's up.
that'd be my recommendation.
All right. So what I'm watching right now, I'm watching Paradise on Hulu, and that stars Sterling K. Brown.
Uh-huh.
And it's Joe Budden had the best
Okay.
comparison of this, and
Okay.
I couldn't believe it. And I was like, he said, "Yo, it's like 24
Okay.
mixed with This Is Us."
Ooh,
Right,
that's
and
interesting.
because partly because of Sterling K. Brown, but like basically he's I'm just gonna say the premise. He's like
Yeah.
this guy is a part of the Secret Service,
Mhm.
and they're tasked to protect a former president because when you even when you're not the president, you still
Right.
get
Oh
that
yeah.
kind of service, whatever.
Whole thing. Yeah.
So the reason why it's called Paradise though is because there was some type of natural disaster and they're living in an alternate world. They're living like in a bomb shelter type
Uh-huh.
world. You know what I mean? Like Truman Show. It's like
Yeah.
Truman Show
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But the reason why it's like This Is Us because they have all these flashbacks, like, and they play with time a lot. You know what I mean? So the actor that is, the male actor that's in Sonic, that's like basically like Sonic's dad, like the white guy.
Yes.
He plays the president. You know what I mean, so even I mean, whatever. So I'm not going to tell you what happens, but that's the premise. And yeah, they're in a place that's not regular Earth.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like so and it's been pretty good. So it's on Hulu, and they're going week by week.
Yeah.
The late it might be the last episode, but the latest they come out on Tuesdays, but I think there's like one more episode left, or that's the next episode. And then other than that, TV wise, I'm just and I know you like this guy, but I don't think I realized we was on the same page. I'm the Gordon Ramsay is the guy, bro.
Bro, that one of my
Gordon is
ultimate
the greatest white man in America right
ultimate
now. Like that's the only foreign white man that I rock with. He's my
yes.
favorite white guy, bro. Like
Ultimate celebrity, like if
so
and
much respect. I have so
yes,
much respect for
bro.
him.
And when
So much.
you
My
when
respect for him is like up here, bro. Like it's crazy.
as
Accomplished.
a yes, as a
He's
chef, as a businessman, as an entertainer, as an entrepreneur, I would love nothing more than just 5 minutes. All I want in life, if I could get 5 minutes talking to him,
yeah.
just for him to
If we
go,
want somebody to run, see, that's what I'm saying. I don't mind celebrities jumping into politics and stuff
uh-huh,
like that, but like that's a guy that who's made it, but
uh-huh.
also has that blue collar
You can
background.
trust
He
him.
he came from
You can,
nothing, bro. My
yes,
man came from the gutter of
yep,
England, bro.
yeah, yeah,
So I would
yeah.
like if he wanted to run for president, and I know because he's older. I mean, he's up there, so he's right. He's the
He
right
wasn't
age to be a
born
president.
here.
What's up?
He wasn't born here, so he
Uh,
wouldn't. Yeah, he was definitely born in England, so he
but
wouldn't
they,
be able to
you
be
know,
a
they make new rules all the time,
yeah,
man. They
right,
pass
right.
they make executive orders all the time. But like, yeah,
Yeah,
he would be a
yeah,
guy that I would vouch for. But like, so
yeah.
that
What are you
definitely
watching?
watch Hell's Kitchen. I'm
Yep,
done Hell's Kitchen.
yep,
So Next Level Chef
yep,
I love that's like my favorite of his
yep,
shows.
yep,
Next Level Chef.
yep,
I don't really watch Master Chef, but that's another story.
yep.
But yeah, Next Level Chef, Hell's Kitchen, and then Kitchen Nightmares. Oh my god, I fucking love Kitchen Nightmares, bro. That shit be blowing my mind. I'm like,
You gotta
these
be, yep.
motherfuckers are stupid. Like, why do you run a business? Like,
Bro,
I mean, and I be nervous. I be like thinking, like, when they got a sister on there, I be like thinking, like, oh, you better not get too smart with Gordon. And
they always do.
people know the
Yeah,
line. People know the line that they can and cannot cross with him,
yep.
and that's who you want, bro. That's I respect that guy, man.
Yeah, I think yeah, we were watching Hell's Kitchen too, or not Hell's Kitchen. Now it's over. We were watching Hell's Kitchen. Didn't agree with the winner, by the way.
Oh, you don't think Kyle? Well, I thought Egypt should have been in the finals for real, for real.
Well, that was right, and I thought the other girl tattoos, I forget her name, but I think she should have won. Either way,
Okay.
fine, still a good season.
Yeah,
We love Hell's Kitchen. Master Chef, you mentioned, we watch it. We were not too
Yeah.
into Master Chef Junior.
Yeah.
We don't really watch that.
It's interesting because I can't do what those kids can do. Like I
Sure,
can't
of
even.
course,
I
of
mean, but
course,
it's
right.
it's a cool novelty show. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's not my
yeah.
favorite. But
The reason we're kind of, I think Master Chef is a little lower on our list. I can't stand Joe.
is
I
that the
can't.
bald dude?
Yes, who
Oh,
is
I don't
always
like him.
mean. He
No, I don't
is
like him.
disgusting. He is
Nope.
filthy.
Nope, I don't
He
like
will
him.
sit there and tell you you are trash to your face, and then at the end of the day say the nicest things to whatever random. It's just I don't
Yeah,
like
no, I
him.
don't like him.
And so, but
Do you watch Next
yeah.
Level Chef at all?
Next Level Chef. Next Level Chef is we haven't started the new season just
Okay.
because of timing and everything else going on. But I like those two co-hosts. I
Yes,
enjoy them.
yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the premise. But hey, it's a Gordon Ramsay
I
cooking
like
show.
it.
So
Yeah,
at the end of the day, and bro, I mean, we've been watching Kitchen Nightmares since it was on the first time, and we watched all the UK ones over COVID.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it started over there. Yeah,
Yes,
he has a
yes, yeah.
whole. He also has Hotel Nightmare,
Okay.
where he'll do the same thing. He just goes to your hotel, the cleanliness of the room, the restaurant
Yeah.
attached to it, does the same shit. But yeah, man, Ramsay's man, I would give a lot. I would
Yeah.
do. He's up there as a person who
That's definitely bucket list. I need to go to a Hell's Kitchen. That's like bucket
We've
list.
we were this close. We were on had a trip with my sister over last summer. We were going to go to the Atlantic City Hell's Kitchen for dinner, but plans fell through, so we didn't get there.
Ah,
But we're gonna one of these days we're either gonna go to somewhere to go
yep.
to a Hell's Kitchen experience because I heard it's just to die for. Yeah, I
Yeah,
need a beef
yeah.
Wellington. I need a lobster
Oh,
risotto, fam. I'm
oh,
ordering
the
the
scallops.
menu.
Oh my
And
God.
bro,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
we've seen TikToks. We know how much it's not that terribly expensive. Like
yeah.
you get 2 entrees, an appetizer, 2 desserts, and a couple drinks for 2 people. It's like $300.
That ain't bad.
So I
I
mean,
can do
it's
that.
not for a
That's
one-time
doable.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're not spending thousands. It's like,
yeah. That's what's
So
up.
yeah, I mean, hey, this last season of Hell's Kitchen was the resort in Connecticut just like the worst thing ever. Like I wouldn't want that as
No,
my
I wouldn't want that to be my
like
job, but like
like you
that
could
resort was kind of dope though. They
the
had a lot of
resort,
stuff
sure,
there.
the resort's dope, but you could tell like the prizes for the winning teams during the challenges were like, here's the resort golf carts, and here's
Yes,
the resort
yes.
mini golf, and here's the resort movie theater, and here's the resort spa. Like we ran out of things to do because we couldn't just helicopter them to a Las Vegas location
Yes,
like we would.
yeah.
So
Yep.
that was kind of it kind of seemed like a throwaway season for me, but it was still very good
Well, yeah, it's like
nonetheless.
there's like 20 seats. It's crazy that this has been going on so
Oh,
long,
bro,
but
though
and that's what I'm
it'll
saying.
never.
It's kind of like a sweatshop a little bit, but like I support
Hey,
it. I mean,
but
like I don't know.
hey, but he does it though. He's away. His family lives back in England. He's
Yeah.
away for like 3 months at a time because it's down to a science. He can do 3 seasons of a show in 3 months, and
Wow.
then he goes and takes a break, and then he comes back to the States to do it again in the second
Wow.
half of the year. Oh yeah, he's it's all down to his science. He owns the production
He
company
yeah, pretty
now,
much.
so
And
it's
yeah, Fox is
he
his network. It's crazy that like
right.
he's kind of like Rob Dyrdek
Yeah.
for
Yep.
MTV, but he's
Yep.
for Fox.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's yeah.
Hey, here's another show I'll bring up and then we can kind of wrap here.
Yep.
I think it's a Fox show. Maybe I might be wrong on the network. The Floor. Have you seen?
Yes. So
Okay.
the family and I, we watched The
Yep.
Floor, and it is like it pisses me off because it's entertaining, but it pisses
They
me
be
off because it's like
passing. They see a picture of Michael
I be
Jackson and
like,
they're like,
bruh.
pass.
Oh
Like
yeah,
what?
when they don't know black people, it makes me so mad. But like, it's the most basic
Uh-huh.
game show I've ever seen in my life. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, water bottle,
And just when you think you don't right,
lighter.
and just when you think you don't know a subject, and then Rob Lowe's like, we're gonna show you pictures of things you find around the office, and it's like stapler, banana,
Yeah,
a
like,
keyboard,
like
a
what?
mouse, and it's like, okay,
Yeah,
all
some
right,
of the categories are tough. Like
a
I
little
remember
bit,
they had like Shakespeare, and then like you had to
yeah,
like from the quote alone, you
yeah.
had to, and I'm like, that's hard. That's hard. Like
Now,
I
are
like.
you?
Well, go
Sorry.
ahead.
No,
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, did you like catch on to the fact that like when they leave, they'll go back and study like the topics, like some of them,
Yes, yeah,
and
and
I thought that
is
was
it is
interesting.
how are they recording the show? Because like,
Well,
why are they wearing the same thing every day?
so I know for a fact
How?
that I know for a fact, I listened to an interview with Allison Hannigan, who was the host of Penn and Teller's Fool Us.
Okay.
And so she would come out and Penn and Teller would come out in the same outfit every single time. And it was basically just wardrobe had 80 of those dresses. Now, the reason they did it was obviously so they could cut up the show and make their own custom episodes based on how many times they were fooled. And
Yeah,
they didn't want it to be a long run of fools and not fools or whatever.
yeah,
But it's just the wardrobe department. If you get picked for the show, if you're telling me that the one requirement is I need to have the same 10 shirts and the same 10 pairs of pants and I got to go out and get them, oh by God, that's easy, right? I mean,
yeah.
I literally only have the same 3 t-shirts in my closet. I'm straight entrepreneur, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. I literally fam. It's a flex t-shirt from Kohl's and I've got black, gray, and I have 3 to 4 versions of each, and that's all I wear every day.
Hey,
So it's like, so I think they probably said pick your favorite, most comfortable outfit,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
make sure you can acquire 10 to 12 versions of that. We'll have laundry service each day. And
Wow.
also they probably have laundry service. If it's something that we've learned from Beast Games, Mr. Beast show on Amazon Prime.
Oh man, that's a scam. That's
I didn't
fucking
watch
show.
it. I didn't watch
We
it,
did.
but
I mean, yeah, my son was into that because he likes Mr. Beast.
yeah.
It's weird, man. That show is weird.
But we know from that he built a $14 million town with where
Yes.
you have to feed those people 3 times a
Yes.
day. You have to wash their clothes, electric,
Yes.
housing, all of that stuff that goes into it. So I'm sure when they all go back to their hotel rooms, laundry service comes. It's like one of their requirements to put their studio outfit in a bag and then they wash it and return it the next morning, maybe.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
that would be my guess. But I think that like studying the topics when they go back is genius. But I
Yes.
like it's fun sometimes to
It
see
is fun. It's fun, but
where
you're
they
like,
get.
bro, this is all we gotta know. Like, are you
Yeah,
kidding
well,
me?
that's what hey, get me on the show. Let's go.
I know.
We
I
should
want. Yeah, I want to
start.
win $20,000. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I want to be on the Price is Right so bad. I
Yeah.
bro, Price is Right, it's all a pattern. Megs and I have it figured out.
Oh, for
If we're ever on the Price is Right, I'll win.
okay.
I 100%
Let's go.
guarantee it. So yeah, we'll try. I'll apply one day. Who knows?
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, and then before we go,
Yeah.
last little thing, and I don't know. Hopefully, we won't take too long with this, but rest in peace, man. Rest in
Yeah.
peace to the great Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is crazy, bro. So they found Gene Hackman,
Yep.
deceased. Him,
Yep.
his wife,
Yep.
and one of their
Yep.
dogs
Yep.
deceased, right?
Yep.
In Santa Fe, New Mexico. So Gene Hackman, great actor, we know him from Hoosiers, we know him from a bunch of stuff. Like Hoosiers is like where a lot of like boomers would know, they would know some Gene Hackman,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. He's older.
he's 95 years
95.
old.
Yeah.
95 years old. His wife was 68. She looked like
Yep.
she was of a different ethnicity. That doesn't necessarily matter in this case right now, at least. And then yeah, then they had a couple dogs. So two of the other dogs were alive, but then the one dog was like found dead in in the closet. But
Right.
like
Right.
it looks like Gene Hackman, like it looks like he might have collapsed
Yeah.
and fell. The wife though, she was found dead in the bathroom with open pill bottle and like a space heater. Like I don't know why they brought up that there was a space
Yeah.
heater right by her body or
Yeah.
whatever. And pills are everywhere. And they ruled out carbon monoxide,
Yes.
and they said that her body started to mummify. So it was like a week or
It
two.
was yeah.
It was like 2 weeks
So
before anybody found them.
yep. So some of the research I did told us that the his pacemaker, he had a pacemaker,
Yeah.
last recorded something on February 14th, so
Yeah, something like
Valentine's
that.
Day. So they're
Yeah.
assuming that's when they died. And they just found them like like it's been like 9 or 10 days.
Yeah.
So I mean the best case scenario, right? Here's the theory, the best case scenario theory. She was found in the bathroom with a bunch of pills around her. He was in another part of the house and the dog was dead, right? So the theory is if no carbon monoxide was found or any type of leak or anything like that, the theory potentially is that the pills were for her potential heart condition.
Okay.
She was maybe having a heart attack.
Okay.
She fell and collapsed, spilled her pills. He went to the kitchen maybe to get a backup bottle. He tripped and fell because of how old he is, banged his
Oh
head,
man.
had a concussion, and it was 9 days. So the dog died from dehydration.
Damn.
Maybe,
Damn.
maybe like because when I looked it up, because like how old was he? 95.
95.
So
Yeah.
do
So
you
you could
have
check any
motive?
minute or day.
Right. So, and she was a little younger,
68.
almost
Yeah.
70. So, I mean, she kind of could have been at that point in time going to, but the dog is the
Yeah,
weird
the
thing.
dog. Yeah.
And that
Why
they
did
had
the
other dogs that were kind of
yeah.
so then you have to start thinking like, if the dog was there, if it was an invasion and someone did this, obviously getting rid of the dog because he might have been a problem. I think it was a German Shepherd, so he probably
Yeah.
might have been aggressive towards an intruder, maybe, hopefully.
Okay.
And so they've got to, like the dog was in the way or something, or was biting him or
Yeah.
attacking him. So he like strangled the dog.
Okay.
Maybe if it was an intrusion situation, but then like, so
See, I
here's
would think
so
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, here's just one thing that I'm kind of learning from the Blacklist and take it with a grain of salt that it's just a TV show. But if you were, and people who have been caught up in these cancellation things, all the Diddy stuff, all the secrets coming out of the woodwork, who does that usually happen to? the Harvey Weinsteins of
Yes,
the
the
world, the people
old,
who have been
yeah,
around for generations and generations.
yeah, yeah.
An old secretary spills the beans to someone she's not supposed to. Oh yeah, he had an affair with me. He raped me. Whatever, something
Ugh.
happened, or whatever that situation may be. Who knows when he was doing movies back in the 60s, back in the 70s, what happened on those sets? What don't we know about? Not saying he was a terrible guy or any of that is
Yeah, yeah,
true,
yeah,
but when we don't have definitive answers to the random, what would seem random, and I'm sure we'll get an autopsy and find out soon, but
yeah,
the wife's body mummifying, the pills
yeah,
on the floor. He's 95 years old with a pacemaker, so he could have maybe she committed suicide.
yeah,
Finding her body was too much for him to handle stress wise, so he started, and then boom, he's out.
yeah,
And then again, 9 days, you don't get fed or have water to drink from. Can a dog survive that long without
yeah,
being fed or taken care of? But wouldn't they have found feces around the house? Maybe, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's still too much to like. I was thinking like maybe she killed him and then committed suicide, but then it's like, well, then how the
At
dog die?
95,
Yeah,
why
like
would
what's
you risk the
yeah,
insurance? Because he has life insurance, but if
exactly.
it's
He's
murder
probably going
suicide, it's not going to pay out.
exactly.
So why would you risk it at 95 unless she found something out, something came to
Yeah,
light that was so terrible that he needed to pay the price right away? I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
It's kind of that older, like they were, because when I looked it up, when you said the name, I wasn't too sure who it was, but
yeah,
then I was like, oh damn, like he's 95,
yeah.
so
95,
he's
95.
been around for a minute.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those. I can't give too. My mind. I could put stuff together after the fact, but it's like, yeah, it's hard for me to just like make up a theory. Other than yeah, like unless because they said there was no forced entry, so like
Well,
maybe like somebody was like a delivery service of some sort, and so like it wasn't a forced entry, but the doors unlocked, open, and then you harm these people. Yeah, you do something to the dog. You put the other dogs. Maybe the other dogs were not
but
like visible.
But if there were no signs of struggle, no blood, no gun, no
Yeah,
bullet holes, no
yeah,
knife wounds. So now you're dealing with someone who would know how to not only get into their house without causing a scene,
yeah,
you're dealing with someone who could potentially unalive two people and a dog by making it look like an accident.
yeah. That's what
And
I'm
when you
saying. Like,
get into that level of
yeah, yeah. That's
skill
when.
set, that doesn't happen in that. We've got people with 3D printed guns waiting outside of hotels for CEOs. We
Yeah,
don't have like secret Mossad, like I know how to make this look like a gas leak kind of situation
yeah,
going on, especially to a 95-year-old actor from a couple like I don't
yeah, yeah,
conspiracy theory tinfoil hat. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
It's
You're
an
right.
interesting case. So I think in this aspect, all we can do is speculate and hopefully have more information and come back.
I know, yeah. I would like to come back to this and
Yeah.
find out what happened, and then
Yeah.
it probably is a crazy story, but like if they don't report on it, that's when I'm gonna get suspicious. Like
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm like,
Right. Oh,
what's
you
going
just
on
swept
there?
it under the rug? Why? Who's
Yeah,
involved? Who'd you
yeah,
know? What
yeah.
name popped up?
Exactly.
What name is
Is
on
he in
those
the? Is he in
Epstein?
the?
Was
Is he?
he on the
Yeah,
Epstein list?
Epstein. Yeah, more Epstein than Diddy for Gene Hackman,
Yeah,
but
right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
so
hey, and that's been in the news. They're releasing the documents yesterday or so,
yeah,
whatever. I don't know, but
yeah,
like, crazy
yeah.
world, man.
Crazy world, crazy world. Yo, bro, I'm so glad, man, that you reached out to me, man. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful, man, for you in general, but I'm glad you reached out to me. He was like, yo, man, I need to get back on. And I said, you know what? Because I do have a couple guests, like people that want to be on. And it's just, again, it's tough. It's a tough process,
Yep.
but it's easy to do it when you got your friend that's also a podcaster as well. And it's just like a natural flow, man. But, yo, man, you have a good time?
Yes, absolutely. As always, 100%. Love the conversation, ebbs and flows. As always, just
Yeah.
like you and I. Every time, every single time.
I appreciate it, man. So, yo, if y'all still watching, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please leave a comment below. Flood it. You know what I'm saying? Share this with whoever you know. Go check out my boys' podcast, the What Are We Doing podcast. You can check out our podcast, Recap and Record. We will have season 5. Is it season? Are we on season 4 or 5 of our show?
Of our show.
Yeah, it would be the new one. Would be 5. I think it would be 5.
5 or 6. Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Check. What episode was Joe Exotic on?
Just this last week, 178.
178
this last week. Yeah.
So if you want to hear a exclusive interview with Joe Exotic, check out episode 178 of the What Are We Doing podcast.
Sure.
But yeah, man, I'm your host, Los Def, and this is episode 183, y'all. We out.
Thanks. Boom.
Nice.
Love it.